Hello students, welcome for the second lecture of projection of solids. I'll do a quick revision of what we did in the last lecture. In the last lecture, we had talked about that the chapter of solids will consist of 4 solids in all: pyramid, prism, cone and cylinder. Now today we are going to talk about pyramid. Let us see how a pyramid looks like and what are the different ways that you can address a pyramid. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw different pyramids, you can say. I'll tell you how we are going to name the pyramids, what are the different terms that we are going to use in pyramids and so on. Let us talk about something called as a square pyramid. Now, any pyramid is named by the shape of its base. For example, if I'm talking about a square pyramid, it obviously means that the shape of the base is a square. Here, I'm going to draw a square pyramid now. This is what a square pyramid will look like. Here. I'm using different colors so that you'll be able to understand how the pyramid looks like. The pyramid has a kind of an apex here, okay, and I'll talk about the terms sooner. Here, I'll just complete the base here. This is the hidden edge, you can say. Here. If you see, the base of the pyramid is a square. Hence, the name comes as square pyramid. I am completing one more hidden edge of the pyramid. Here is what I have drawn, a square pyramid. Okay. A pyramid will be named in the following manner. We are going to use numbers for naming the base of any pyramid from now on. In fact, any solid that I'll be talking about, I'll be naming the base of the solid by means of some numbers. This is what we call as the apex. So now I have drawn a square pyramid. The name square pyramid is given because the base is a square. If the base would have been a triangle, I would have called that as a triangular pyramid. Now please remember, when I'm talking about a triangular pyramid, I mean it is an equilateral triangle. All our discussions will assume that the base is totally, you can say, regular in shape. Okay. Again, the base is denoted by numbers. This is the apex. All right. Now, again, if we would talk about a hexagonal pyramid, let us talk about a hexagonal pyramid. Now, if I talk about a hexagonal pyramid, as the name suggests, hexagon, it would mean that the shape of the base of this pyramid is going to be a hexagon. Let us see how it looks like. Here, I'm going to draw a hexagonal pyramid now. Here, I'll draw some edges. Just quickly draw it for reference. Now, this is what a hexagonal pyramid will look like. These are the outer faces, planes, you can see. These are some hidden edges here. I'm going to draw them parallel here. Like this. These are some edges which are hidden here. Just completed it. This is your hexagonal pyramid. As we have discussed, we'll name the base by some numbers like this. This would be the apex. So if you see, any pyramid would be named by the shape of its base. So if you talk about a pentagonal pyramid, the base is going to be a pentagon. We'll talk about this as we solve some more problems on this. Now I would want to add some naming here. Okay. Let's go one by one. Now these here are called as your base corners. These are called as base corners. These are called as base corners. So let me ask this in another way. How many base corners does a square pyramid have? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many base corners does a hexagonal pyramid have? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Similarly, can we just quickly think about this? How many base corners will a pentagonal pyramid have? Yes, you guessed it right. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, this is the first naming that we're talking about. Right. Let's go for the second way that we are going to talk about pyramid naming. Let's talk about this. This here is what we call as a base edge. That's a base edge. Once again, this here is what we call as a base edge. So in a square pyramid, there are how many base edges? 1, 2. You're going to name it like this. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1. In a hexagonal pyramid, there will be how many base edges? 6. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 1. This base edge is 3, 4. So guess how many base edges will be there in a pentagonal pyramid? 5. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 1. That's it. Good. Now we'll go ahead even further. Let's talk about this here. Now this are what we call as the slant edges. Now if you see any kind of pyramid you take, any kind, it will always have a slant edge. For example, in this case, the slant edge is O3, whereas in this case, the slant edge is O1. So let me guess, how many slant edges are there in a square pyramid? 4. O1, O2, O3, O4. In a hexagonal pyramid, O1, O2, O3, O4, O5, O6. Once again, what would happen for a pentagonal pyramid? How many slant edges for a pentagonal pyramid? 5. O1, O2, O3, O4, O5. Please remember, base edges are different, slant edges are different. Okay? Now, this is what we call as the apex. Any pyramid is always going to have an apex, right? Now, from this apex, we can draw something called as an imaginary axis. This is the axis of the solid. Now please remember, M is a point where the axis, the center line intersects the base. For example, I'll show it again here. Now please remember, this axis is actually imaginary. It does not exist. It's an imaginary line. So I'm saying that this solid has an axis. That axis is named as OM. M is a point where this center line, imaginary line, intersects the base. Okay, so now we have seen that any solid is always going to have an axis. I am going to name this axis always as OM. Right? So any solid is always going to have an axis. Just a point of reference here. We are going to talk about right rectangular solids. What I'm trying to imply is, in all our problems, the axis is always going to be perpendicular to the base, right? Now guys, there are some solids, or there is a study of solids where the axis is not perpendicular to the base. It is inclined to the base. The best example is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? One of the 7 wonders, you can say. That solid, that tower, if you see, is not exactly straight. It is inclined to the ground. So the axis is not exactly perpendicular, it is inclined. Those are called as oblique solids. Now we are not going to talk about those solids. We are going to talk about right rectangular solids here. Solids whose axis is perpendicular to the base. Now, there is one very important naming that we should always remember in case of a pyramid. And that is this. Now this, let me talk about this. O12. O12. O12 is what we call as a slant triangular face. It's a slant triangular face. So there are how many slant triangular faces in a square pyramid? 4. O12, O23, O34, O41. Similarly, let me talk about, look at this face here, look at this face here, look at this face here, okay? This is O34, okay? This again is a slant triangular face. The meaning of face, guys, is nothing but a plane. It's a triangular plane. So in case of hexagonal pyramid, we will have 6 triangular faces, slant, 6 triangular faces. O12, O23, O34, O45, O56 and O61. What would be, or how many would we have a slant triangular faces will we have in a pentagonal pyramid? 5. O12, O23, O34, O45 and O51. Okay, I'll again draw a pentagonal pyramid when we actually solve some problems, but this is the naming that you should remember, because these terms are going to come in our problems. Okay, so just quickly revise, we'll quickly go through them once again. Okay, once again we'll quickly go through them, right? Any pyramid is named by the shape of its base. So if I have a square, I'm going to call it as a square pyramid. The base is a hexagon, it's a hexagonal pyramid. Please remember, in all our problems, the base is always going to be regular. Regular means all sides are going to be equal. Okay, we'll have a regular base pyramid. Now, any pyramid will always have something called as base corners. Base corners, they will be denoted by numbers. This is our convention. Now, there will be base edges, 2 numbers. Base edge here, 2 numbers. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 1 and so on. Right? Now, there will be slant edges. Every slant edge will have O as its start, like O1, O2, O3, O4. These are different as compared to the base edges. Okay, every solid will have an imaginary axis, hence I have drawn a center line. Okay, imaginary axis, the axis will always start from O and will always be perpendicular to the base. M is a point which lies on the base of the solid. OM, axis, right? And as I said, a very important term called as slant triangular faces. In this case, I have shown a face, a single face. O12, O12, this is a slant triangular face. In this case, it is O34. Likewise, we can always name a slant triangular face in any pyramid. Also, any pyramid is characterized by an apex. Okay, this is all we have in this lecture, where we came to know how a pyramid is named. I'll be using these references in our problems that we are going to solve. Thank you.